As a comedic writer, I am constantly searching for inspiration and ideas that will make my readers laugh. So when someone asked me to write a short funny story, I couldn't resist the challenge. Little did I know, this simple task would lead me on a wild and hilarious journey. I sat down at my desk, ready to let the creative juices flow and come up with the perfect story. As I stared at the blank page, I felt a sense of pressure to come up with something funny and original. Suddenly, my phone rang, interrupting my train of thought. "Hello," I answered. "Hey, it's your best friend, Sarah," came the voice on the other end. "Oh, hey. What's up?" I replied. "I just wanted to tell you about this crazy dream I had last night," Sarah said excitedly. "Oh boy. Here we go." I thought to myself, Sarah's dreams were always so bizarre and nonsensical. "I dreamed that we were both characters in a comedy movie," she continued. I rolled my eyes playfully. "And let me guess, it was your job to make everyone laugh?" "Yes, and we were on a mission to find the funniest joke in the world," Sarah exclaimed. I couldn't help but laugh at her ridiculous dream. "Well, did we find it?" "Oh yes, we did," Sarah said confidently. "But you'll have to come over for dinner tonight so I can tell you all about it." I agreed to come over and hung up the phone with a smile on my face. Sarah always had a way of making even the simplest things entertaining. As I continued to brainstorm for my funny story, Sarah's dream kept popping into my head. Maybe I could use it as inspiration, but then again, maybe not. I didn't want to copy her dream and end up with a story that wasn't truly my own. Feeling a bit frustrated, I decided to take a break and go for a walk. Maybe some fresh air would clear my mind and give me some new ideas. As I strolled through the park, I couldn't help but people watch. And that's when it hit me what could be funnier than real life. I rushed back to my desk and started typing away. I wrote about a man who was always late to work. But instead of using the usual excuses, he would come up with the most outrageous and ridiculous explanations. His boss and co-workers would roll their eyes, but secretly couldn't help but laugh at his absurdity. I was quite pleased with my story and couldn't wait to share it with Sarah over dinner. But little did I know, my comedic journey wasn't over yet. At dinner, Sarah served her signature dish, spaghetti and meatballs, but with a twist. She had used black food coloring to make the noodles look like worms. I couldn't help but laugh at her creativity, and we both joked about how it looked like something out of a horror movie. As we sat down to eat, Sarah suddenly stopped mid-bite and gasped. "I just had an idea for your funny story," she exclaimed. I was intrigued. "What is it?" "Okay, so you know how there's always that one person at work who hates their job and constantly complains about it?" I nodded in agreement. "Well, what if that person suddenly starts loving their job because they accidentally discovered a secret room in the office filled with puppies? Every time they're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, they sneak off to play with the puppies," Sarah said excitedly. I burst out laughing at the absurdity of her idea. "That's hilarious." We spent the rest of the night coming up with even more ridiculous ideas for my story. As I left Sarah's house, I couldn't help but feel grateful for her constant support and endless supply of comedic inspiration. The next day, I submitted my short funny story to my editor with a sense of pride. And to my surprise, it was published in a popular humor magazine. I received countless emails and messages from readers who couldn't stop laughing at my tale, but the best part, Sarah and I were now known as the dynamic duo of comedy. We started collaborating on more funny stories and even performed stand-up comedy together at a local open mic night. Our friendship had reached a whole new level, all thanks to a simple request for a short funny story. Looking back on that day, I can't help but laugh at how something as small as a phone call from a friend led me on an unexpected and hilarious journey. As a comedic writer, I've learned that sometimes the best inspiration comes from real life and the people around you. So here's a little piece of advice from my comedic adventures: never be afraid to take risks and let your creativity run wild. You never know where it may take you, and who knows, maybe one day you'll find yourself in a comedy movie, on a mission to find the funniest joke in the world.